Welcome to the Friendlyjordies podcast. I hope everyone's had a splendid week.
I don't. Pay your respects to the Anzacs.
Hell yeah.
Even though it'll probably be a week after, but still pay your respects.
Yeah.
Pay your respects.
Make sure
Anzac Day every day.
Make sure you pay your respect to the Anzac, have Anzac cookies, and also that shit gambling game that Miss Lo was talking about.
Two Up is not a gambling game.
Oh, so if you insult that gambling game, you're also
Yes.
a traitor?
Yes.
All right, I'm on
That's-
Ali's view.
that's
I'm sorry, it's such a
unreasonable.
bad game.
Oh,
it's
for
so
fuck.
it's so boring. What is this? It's just flipping
Unpatriot.
coins.
It's
a
heads or
coin
tails.
flip.
But that's my kind of game. It's simple. No
Even
bull.
though Miss Lo lost.
I did
so
lose.
like-
I did lose. I did lose. I lost. I lost $10 and
It's a
I.
pirates game.
It is. Yeah. It's just for us simple folk. You know, I love it. And also all these drunken hoons in a circle with beer going, ooh, tails. Come
That's
on.
a very good sound.
So
I do like it.
Australian.
Yeah. Okay, all right. You won me back.
So Australian.
Yeah.
But Anzac
All right,
cookies.
if the game itself was terrible, but it's the memories that it makes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the memories. And, of course, the copious amount of cash you never really lose. That's great fun. But,
Hey, but like
yeah,
someone
yeah.
is winning, whatever you're losing.
someone is winning. I did see someone with a bag, a sack, like a pirate, of cash. And she was like, I won $1,000. And then
And
she was just...
wasn't Australian.
No. And then she wasn't Australian.
She was Turkish.
No, she wasn't Turkish. That's not funny, Ali.
What ethnicity
But,
was she? Was she on the Axis' side? Because if she was, we should be allowed to beat her up and take her. What's it called against swag?
I think she was one of those like vague. She was one of those vague accents where it's like, I'm a citizen of the world. She was kind of like one of those people, but I'm guessing.
Nah,
I
grew up
hate
in,
those
like,
people.
Singaporean grammar school.
I think she was South American, but she could have been from anywhere.
That's it. Beat her up and take it.
Dude, can I ask you guys? I was just sitting at a table with someone, and there was a table next to us where there was two Aussies and one American woman sitting, and she was speaking in her like American accent, and I was like, "Is it racist to say it, dude? F- that accent." And it's not the
Which one?
accent,
Which one?
American.
Oh.
It's also not the accent. It's the confidence that always accompanies that accent everywhere. It does.
What
It's
accompanies our accent?
nothing like not
Bogans,
confidence.
just I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, that's a good question. What accompanies this?
The alcohol
Alcoholism.
accompanies the I'm an alcohol. I don't know if it's the voice.
No, it's the voice.
Alcoholism, but
Fucking inject, fuck it. That's one in the same. They're one in the same.
skepticism.
Skepticism.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I
also-
think so. Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Really?
Everything about Australia sounds laconic, taking the piss.
But here's the difference.
I realised that once.
The British
You know what? A
acc-
British person once said that to me once when I was just like, "Hi, how are you? Oh yeah, that's a great day." And then she was like, "You're taking the piss, are you? You're making fun of me. You should all a G up, innit? You're being sarcastic, aren't you? I'm sorry. I think you're a beautiful woman." She was just like, "I've never been more insulted." in my life."
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. Like
What the
every
fuck?
every time you go overseas, they do that. They
That's
look
so-
puzzled at you and
Yeah.
are you serious?
That's so
I think it might
weird.
be also the fact that I am a satirist by trade and the entire job is to be sarcastic.
True.
So that I might be a special exemption. But I think that Australian accents do generally have this I'm taking the Mickey attitude
Yeah, that's
to
that
them.
very true. There's a sarcasm to it. It sounds like a joke.
There's a
G'day, mate. Skippy. Like it's fucked.
And even the chick with the raspy.
It's a joke.
Do you know the
Yeah.
Americans have this conspiracy that if you have an Australian accent, then you're gonna automatically get an audience because people like for
In
comedians-
America,
for comedians, yeah, in America, because
Yeah. Well, it's a
people
novelty,
are
right?
like laughing at your accent all the time anyway. So the jokes
True,
are
we're not
already
really
there.
laughing at American accents, are we? Unless you sound like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. Colonel Sanders, like the
Where are
southern-
those guys? It's just Lindsey
South.
Graham and that's it.
Yeah, they're gone.
Some black accents can be funny,
Yeah.
and yes, the southern accent can be funny.
But
Yeah.
standard American.
Standard American, no.
Nah, it's
and
not
standard
funny.
Australian's funny.
Yeah, it is
Dude,
funny.
I'm gonna go to the extent. I know, like you've recently gained a lot of American followers, and this is probably not gonna go down well. And my accent is kind of similar to it, but I just hate it. It's like
It's a
I
strange
said
accent.
confidence before, but I really mean arrogance. It always accompanies this level of arrogance, and that's why
You haven't met a Scottish person
if
then.
if you're American and you work in Australia, you climb up the corporate ladder so easy because just this inherent confidence in you.
Yes.
Like, And Australians aren't like this, so they're always like, oh, I guess we have to listen to what this guy says because he thinks he knows what this guy has to say. And they're always like, they go up to upper middle management like in no time, easy.
And it's not just that. They also say statements with absolute certainty as well.
Yeah. And they could be like completely bullshit.
Yes, and it doesn't matter.
They're great at small
Doesn't matter.
talking. They're amazing at small talking as well.
Do you ever notice when
Isn't
you...
that incredible?
And you know, like, here's the other thing. You might not know this about Americans. Actually, you might, because remember when you put up that picture on your Facebook profile, Friendlyjordies, where you were lying on an American flag and you got a lot of hate? I didn't know this, but I actually discovered this through my cousins. Like, when they live in America, and when they were here for my brother's wedding, we were just talking, I was, like, saying something about, like, how America isn't the best place in the world. And you could actually see them, like, shocks flying. It's like, well, wait, what do you mean? Why aren't we the best again? And I was like, oh, these things, like, you know, this thing, Australia is actually much better in this. Europe is better in this. America's kind of trash in this. And they're like, hold on a minute. And then you know how he comforted himself at the end? Because he couldn't, like, figure out, like, how anyone could say such. He thought I was, like, blaspheming. And eventually he said, like, but you know what, man? I've traveled the world, but whenever I go back to Chicago airport and there's that McDonald's, I just get myself a little McDonald's meal with those French fries, and I go, boy, this is the best country in the world. And I was like,
Yes,
oh my
that's
God.
all the proof that you need that you can get McDonald's in America. You can't get that anywhere
nowhere
else.
else
In
in the
no
world.
other airport. In
Not
the
even
world
Australia.
is
Can't
there
do
a
it in Australia.
McDonald's.
God forbid you get Hungry Jack's.
And specifically Chicago's airport as well. No other American airport.
well, he's
You get
from
this-
Chicago, so he goes back to Chicago.
And that's, you know what else I really don't like about Americans as well? How localized they are.
Yeah.
I really don't like how they're always just like, my hometown, Chicago.
Yeah.
Dude, your hometown is filled with guns and death.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Well,
not
what's
the
the
best place in the world.
You know-
statistic? Like, a lot of Americans don't have a passport, like 40% or something.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of Australians don't have a passport.
Really?
Most Australians haven't been overseas
No.
and don't intend on going overseas.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, a lot
That's
of us are afraid of flying.
It's true.
And with good reason. We really shouldn't be, let alone flying 200 of us across the planet at once. It's probably rational fear.
Yeah,
to
we're
have
onto
that.
something.
Yeah.
Go Australia. Once again, Australia
But
wins.
when Americans do it, they're idiots. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
All right, let's
You're
move
not the
on.
best country in the world. Australia is, okay?
No,
Yeah, I think it's true. Not Australia's not good if you're trying to make it in like the arts, though. I feel like that's a one downside it has. Like,
I think there's more than one downside to Australia, such as the fact that it's extremely susceptible to climate change.
That's a low second. That's a low
might be
second.
better
And also
if
we
you
don't
wanted to
have
become a
fresh water.
DJ if you lived in Berlin, maybe.
yeah, exactly. The DJ thing that sucks. That sucks. That's what I'm saying. It's not good for that. It's not good for the DJing. And let me tell you, I wouldn't be getting these summers coming quips in Berlin. Let me tell you that much.
All right, let's start with
Mostly
our.
because they'd have difficulty understanding my accent.
No, we love Americans. Just
You know what, actually, you
keep
would be
watching
getting-
our shit.
You'd not be getting quips
No.
in Germany about
No,
that. They
no.
would just be like, "What is this is so silly. This
Yeah.
is not summer.
It's
It's
not
the moment. I
summer.
don't understand. This
Yeah.
is very bad.
Yeah,
It's
that-
stupid.
Berlin wouldn't do great either. But like
Germany sucks."
the whole world, apart from New Zealand. All right.
No, actually,
what the-
the whole world is fine. New Zealand, I
Well,
change.
okay, I suppose it is Anzac Day and the Z does stand.
Yeah, exactly. No,
all right, just this once, New Zealand.
Well, we pointed out those problems with
Week,
Australia.
though, we'll have plenty for you.
All right, should we start our first segment?
Yeah, maybe that's probably a
Poop.
good idea.
The Labour Party, or should I say the government,
The communist
Yeah,
party.
that's what I like.
have unveiled a new electric vehicle strategy,
Oh.
which is good, but it's also being criticized for various reasons. So let me first talk about some of the features of this new electric vehicle strategy.
Go for it.
One is that they're introducing something that European countries have had for a very long time, which is minimum fuel efficiency standards. So cars that pollute at whatever level that they've decided, anything more than that, you're unable to sell in the Australian market, which is automatically, the idea is that it'll automatically force companies to move towards electric, because at some point they're going to hit ceilings of petroleum cars and the standards that they can meet with those cars.
Well, I'm finally glad that I'm not going to be seeing any more kids going to their 21st in a pink Hummer limo.
Yes.
Every time I look at that,
So
I think,
glad
like,
about
God,
that.
I really wish we were in Israel and it hit a landmine. It's
So true.
so decadent.
So
I mean, there's not that many
unnecessary.
Hummers anyways.
There's a
No, but
lot.
every time you see it, don't you instantly... I mean, every time I see a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, I always think either hilarious or midlife crisis, and I'll let either pass. Not a Hummer. A
Yeah.
Hummer is an ultimate... It's just such a middle finger to the planet.
Yeah. Hummer limo.
But you know what's
Jet
funny?
skis.
Hummer has launched an all-electric truck
Really?
recently, yeah, and it's
But even
the
then, I'm just
biggest
like, no,
truck
you're
ever.
sucking
You
up to
can't park
electricity.
it. You need 2 parking spots to park it.
That's
It's
better. I mean,
Texas size.
but electric is just generally like that is more fuel efficient, right? That's the deal.
I mean, it's not fuel efficient. It's electric. So the idea is
that's what I
that
mean, like-
once the entire electricity grid goes to renewables, that's going to be charging the electric cars, which means it has zero emissions. If you're charging your electric car with
Gotcha.
normal fossil fuels, then it doesn't
fuck, that's
really
just
make that much.
disputed
of
the
a
whole argument of like what charged your car? Coal mine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. That's kind of disputed
Well,
the whole
can we
thing.
open up some renewables? Nah.
It's not reliable.
Why do you care so much about, like, what flicks on your life? Why is that like a culture war to you?
It shouldn't be.
Why does that matter?
It shouldn't be a culture war.
Focus on the real issues.
Like-
Is J.K. Rowling right or not?
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly.
get
And the
back to
answers,
that.
and there's the answers there too. Yes, it's all laid out there, just like green
Get
energy.
angry about that. We need you in that fight, man.
Yeah.
You Garys of the world.
So that's one of the aspects of the policy. The
Yeah.
other one is increasing the electricity infrastructure, but that's a no-brainer and everyone agrees with that. So the third one is they're going to give a discount to buy electric vehicles, but the discount isn't what a lot of people think it is. So if you have a business, then you can get about $10,000 off a car that's worth maybe $55,000-$60,000 from your pre-tax income. So you still have to pay for it, but you can use your
it's tax
pre-tax.
deductible, like
so it's
donating
tax
to
deductible.
Greenpeace.
And if you're an employee,
Sick.
then it's up to $5,000 for the same kind of thing. There's this. Anyway, so this policy is being criticized because it falls short of the electric vehicle policy of Europe and North America, where they've asked literally that after a certain date, in Europe's case, after 2032 or 2033, you just cannot sell any more new fossil, like non-electric vehicles. And in the US, they've said after 2031, you can't, 2/3 of all sales of any company needs to be electric.
Damn.
And we're not doing this.
Holy. That's huge though, right?
It's huge. It's massive.
That's insane.
And so we're being criticized.
Gus will not be happy.
We're being criticized that our electric vehicle strategy doesn't go far enough.
Yeah,
It's-
it's kind of unfair to compare us to Europe and the US, where they've been implementing car policy over the last 2 decades.
Yeah, it's a bit
and
not far enough.
yeah, and immediately, as soon as they put in the first steps into it, how dare you even? That's such an insult. That's it. Dutton wins next election. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
That is so annoying that they're attacking, especially when one of the major reasons that the Labor Party lost in the last election was Bill Shorten is stealing your weekend.
Yeah, he wanted
And
to
it was because
cancel
he
your
was going in
weekend.
with a much more robust EV policy in the last election. And then now when they're putting in the steps, which is always the same thing with all of these things, like, right? Like, this is just, I'm sorry that this is how a democracy functions, okay? I'm awfully sorry about that. But you don't like my suggestion of us becoming a people's republic like China. So what do you want? What do you want? Because that's what happens in a democracy. Once you lose in an election, when you bring these policies, this is exactly the same with tax cuts, this is exactly the same with housing, same thing. They went in with all of those policies, you, the public, reject it, so this commentator puts the blame squarely on you, the viewer.
Hell yeah.
But I do. I'm sick of all these people voting about it, saying it's not far enough. Well, you didn't vote for them 2 times when they were going far enough, did you?
What-
And so now they have to go back and then they have to slowly implement more change. The other thing that I'll say about the electric car part, you do realise electric cars still cost like 60 grand, right?
Yeah, because
poor
one of the-
people are not buying electric cars.
Actually, one of the criticisms
true.
of the government is that you're giving this like tax discount to people that are able to buy $60,000 cars. What about the poor folks? How come you're not giving them a discount?
So sorry that we're not blowing out the budget by giving out $40,000 tax subsidy so poor people can afford electric cars.
Finally, he's
Especially
admitted
where
it.
there's no stock of them anyway.
They're
You
not-
want to buy a Tesla now, you still have to wait 2 months.
But if they're driving electric cars, they're not poor people. They're heroes.
What are you talking about? What?
I mean, if you're reducing carbon emissions, I'm saying give me money. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you're
saying. Give me money.
On a
The guy that just bought a fucking diesel unit.
Exactly.
Not far enough, Labor.
on quick revision, I'm
You did this.
And who's to blame for that?
on quick revision, I agree with Ali's policy. Give me money too.
This is the whole thing. If you're poor, you are not buying a $20,000 car.
Yeah.
When I was poor, I scraped together to buy the car that I have now. It cost me $4 grand and it broke the bank for me.
Yeah,
That's what poor people buy if they
Yeah.
buy a car. You are not getting these high market. What is a $60,000 car that isn't electric? What are you getting? A Mustang?
No.
You're getting for 60
You're
grand.
getting
No,
like a
no.
base model Mercedes.
A
if you want to,
Mercedes,
yeah.
a BMW. This is where the electric
you're
car
right,
market
actually.
is at the moment. What do rich people find more attractive than giving them? Because it'd be a full subsidy anyway. It'd be like $3 grand, $7 grand, or something like that. What do they find more attractive? They find your $10,000, $15,000 tax rebate. They would much rather write off $15,000 of their tax than they would just getting like $3,000.
Yeah,
They would
that's...
much prefer that. Especially
true.
if they're a company and they're just buying a bunch of company cars.
What do you think? What do you say about the criticism that, like, okay, maybe Bill Shorten, when he unveiled his electric vehicle policy, the Australian electorate wasn't ready for it, but they're ready for it now?
No, they're clearly not ready for it. Australia, the Labor Party barely flopped over the line with this minor majority when they said, okay, all right, no tax changes. All right, yeah, okay, we're not going to steal the weekend. We're not going to touch housing. Even then, there was just like, just the Australian electorate is not ready for this.
What does that mean? Steal the weekend? What they're gonna? It's like Labor's gonna come in and take your Lamingtons.
No, they meant, you know, you need a diesel car to go out fishing.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's so stupid because he was offering rebates, right? He's forcing you to buy an electric car.
right,
And so they read that scare campaign and it cost them seats.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, because, like, still electric...
Gotcha.
I guess maybe it was too premature because, like, if you live in regional Australia, the idea of an electric vehicle for you is moronic at this point.
You can't get
Because
it.
your distances are so long, the ranges aren't that
Yeah.
good.
We don't have
and-
the charge stations here because this is the other thing. While we had a government that did nothing for the last 10 years, again, because we were ambitious on climate change and also because the Greens f***ed it up because they're idiots, the last 20 years, what has Europe and the US been doing? They've been building an electric car infrastructure grid that we do not have in this country. We have like 5 depots at Woolies. That's our electric grid.
Yeah, our electric grid is horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, like, if everyone got an electric car today, like, things would just go insane.
Exactly. And on top of that, what has the Labor Party been doing? Building up the electric
Yeah, actually,
grid.
so that's one of the big parts of this electric vehicle policy, which is the energy infrastructure for this. So they're investing a lot of money into that as well. And they're also investing some money into being able to make some of the manufacturing in-house for electric cars. But I don't know how much that's going to work out. We've always tried to make cars, but we've never been able to, like, do it economically.
Holden.
Yeah, Holden's like a big example. Our market's too small. Like, our market is too small for us to develop those massive manufacturing plants over here. Unless we export it, in which case then it
Well,
would
that
work,
was
yeah.
the plan originally. But now we can't do that because Holden's dead. And so all of their factories have just been repurposed. But originally, Bill Shorten wanted to save Holden, turn it into an electric vehicle. And again, you didn't vote for him, so stop complaining.
That's a really good policy.
That is fucking good.
Fuck, I should have voted for it.
But his head was a bit big. We all got our, you're avoiding the big issues. You're avoiding the big issues. The head. You're avoiding the big issues and the main issue being the forehead.
Wait, so you're saying there's... there's no room for improvement.
Front of mind, of course, it is on short.
Pathetic.
You're saying there's no room for improvement in this policy?
Yeah,
That's
that's
a good
exactly what I'm
start.
saying.
Seems like it's a good start.
It's a huge start. It's a start. That's how all policy starts. I'm sorry. It always starts small and then you start building on it over time. But we are 20 years behind the rest of the world.
Fuck, that's so
Like,
fun.
what do you guys think about like
Mad
this
Max.
argument, which I think is like, we think like somehow these electric vehicles are made like they're so clean, but they're in reality it costs a lot. Like not only does it cost a lot to build them, but it uses a lot of these. It uses a lot of things from the mining sector, which aren't so carbon
What a
friendly.
stupid argument. What,
Yeah,
you
but
think
here's
that
the thing.
building a fossil fuel car is completely clean.
Wait. Have you heard about the mines of Congo and the
Yes, I've heard,
cobalt
you know why I've
production?
heard about it? Because that has been a deliberate misinformation campaign pushed out by the fossil fuel industry and the nuclear industry.
But
They
man,
always
I don't
push
know
that
if
out.
that's like I can understand if you can source cobalt in a better manner and from different places that it's a bullshit argument. But currently, dude, the cobalt mining in Congo is like they're
But
essentially.
everything in Africa is like you can't just focus on this one mine and be like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
they've
like-
got bad conditions. But the rest of Africa is like that movie Black Panther. It's just Wonderworld.
Facts.
It might not be, but what I'm saying is like every electric equipment in the world, and particularly these electric cars, because they use a lot of it, depends on this mine, which is being mined by these artisan miners in basically slave conditions, and they have
Which is no different
80%
to
of the
rest
world's
African
cobalt.
economics. But
No,
yeah.
Congo is worse than other African. It depends where you are. Again, Africa. It's not like everything is bad in Congo and everything else is good, but there's good pockets and then there's bad pockets in Africa. And Congo is definitely a bad pocket.
Yeah, but it's not the Congo's fault because of that. You go blame Rwanda for it, which is the real Zaire or whatever it was called in Black Panther.
Yeah, but either
You
way.
blame Rwanda for Congo's lack of development.
But it's the whole blood diamond argument. Like, if you're getting a
argument
Tesla,
for that is completely different because you don't need to get a blood diamond. You can produce a diamond that is completely indistinguishable, even to those Chinese guys with those little circle things. They can't tell the difference.
yeah, like okay,
Synthetic
but
diamonds.
but you can't do that with electric vehicles.
No, you can't.
So,
So
you're
saying
okay with
you're
it.
saying
You're
they're
okay
not
with it.
ethical? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying they're absolutely not ethical.
What do they need in the
I'm
fucking...
also just criticizing that person who thinks that just because they got a Tesla that they're a better human being. Like there's some
But
real
I'm
happening. behind
the
that
reason
Tesla.
I would criticize people that think they're getting a Tesla because they're a better human being is like, let's be honest, you're not. You're not getting it because it's electrically charged.
No.
You're getting it because of the marketing of I'm like some tech
Tech.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And on top of that, let's be honest, they look cooler than Ferrari.
Yeah, they do look cool. I mean,
They are the coolest looking car on the street.
I like how they're all silent. Like, I like the silence.
and they're really fast. What's so funny about that?
It's the funniest marketing campaign.
Flies like a cloud.
Just that sound. That, and then it just says at the end, it just comes up on screen. No words, just black and white text. Need I say more?
yeah. Why drive to work when you can glide
Glide
to
to
work?
work.
The new Tesla. I don't know. It comes
Closest thing to a flying car.
comes with a free Snickers bar now. That would have sold it for me if they're like free Snickers bar. I'm a retard.
I don't think you'll be able to get a Tesla.
I'm literally retarded.
All the money you could have saved. You could have just
Could have
bought
bought many Snickers bars.
In
Damn
theory,
it.
yes.
In theory, yes. You could just pay me to sit next to you and go.
Even that's amazing. Yeah, it would honestly be cheaper for you to hire a midget to just sit in your car now. Just drown it out with a mustache comb.
As I sit there with various Snickers bars, being like, everyone's stupid except me. No.
So that's a wrap for that
And you
segment.
think Teslas are unethical, are they? That's the alternative.
No, I'm pro Tesla as well. But like, I get what you're saying. purely because of the sound. But surely there's an ethical way to get like, the water vapor that it needs or whatever. What do they need from Africa?
They need like this mineral called cobalt for battery.
Why is it all in Africa?
It's also in your phone, like it's.
I know it's in
everywhere.
iPhones and, but like, is that material only available in Africa?
Apparently, the 80% of the known reserves are in Congo.
We've
got some.
If you believe in
but
God,
not enough to like supply to the world.
Dude, if you believe in God, then like, it'd be hard to believe in God and be from the Congo. Don't you reckon?
Oh, dude, it's
it's remarkably easy.
Really?
It's a highly Christian.
I know it is,
population.
but like, I guess what I'm saying is inverted. Like, you need God.
No, you need God. Yeah,
you need God because it's so brutal. But it's like, it's so cruel that it's just like, oh, this one thing the world wants is in the poorest place ever that it's going to get exploited the most. It's like, that's tough,
Yeah, but look at it this way. Imagine if they didn't have that.
Would they be worse off?
They'd just be so
Nah,
dead.
man. I reckon there's something called like that the resource curse. Like, you know what happens?
It's a two-sided thing.
in countries that aren't stable and are really poor, what happens is there's this insecurity over who gets to make the money from those from the treasure that's underneath their soil. So they'd much rather that no one has it than someone has it, if that makes sense. So nothing goes forward because there's a potential to make a lot of money. So there's like constant, like the countries are unstable. They're fighting amongst one another to basically make money off of that wealth. But because it's not stable, none of them are able to. And these mining operations take like, multiple years for it to be. So by that point, the political situation has changed and some other party has come in and everything is like, that's why if you asked like Tesla and you said, do you wish that all of this cobalt was not in Congo, but in Australia, where the standard of labor is really high, everything costs more to produce, they would say we would suck
Absolutely,
dick
yes.
for just for that stability factor.
Yeah.
So sometimes like having lots of resources
Not just that as well, also the productivity of who'd have thought, but robots can do things a lot quicker than 60,000 Africans.
Yeah. But I'm not even talking about that. Like assuming like there's, where people like what you were talking about I think it was in the last pod about China making those iPhones. Like sometimes some places just have a strategic, like they would much rather other places also make them, but not the other places aren't as efficient as making them, so they have to stick with China.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's the same thing with like cobalt. Like if other places were doing it, they would happily get it from other places, but because
steady
so
supply,
much of it isn't
quickly,
Congo, they can't do much about it.
Yes. Well, also the other thing as well, and I really do hate this argument a lot of the time when people say this new technology is just around the corner, because a lot of the time it's been just around the corner for the last 80 years. But no, like, the alternatives to all of these African minerals and the research that goes into these things is obviously extremely well funded because the world sees the profit motive in it, and they are moving forward with leaps and bounds. And I do think it is only a matter of time before you don't even have to use them anymore, and the Congo can go back to being even poorer.
Sorry.
Man, sometimes like I honestly think like if they don't have, like Nigeria is another example. It has so much oil and so many resources. Congo is an example, but it almost sometimes I feel like it'd be better if they didn't have it. They can just move on.
That's
because places like Singapore, places like Korea, they don't have that to back up on. So they're like, oh, we better start working,
Well, they also have something the Africans don't, which is the Asian work ethic. It is a nation of tiger mums forcing their kids to play piano since the age of 6. That is the other reason that they get to move forward.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia and places like the UAE were able to capitalize on this because they weren't so unstable. They had like some royal family that had a complete control over all the resources of that area and were able to sign contracts with companies overseas and were able to like, pull through.
And if there's one thing Saudi Arabia is, it's stable.
Man, I tell you one more thing about Saudi Arabia. I know this is going to sound really bad because I've spent literally 25 to 28 years of my life criticizing the Saudi regime, and rightly so for many reasons.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah, but Saudi is changing.
Really?
It is changing. It's very slow, but it's actually changing. Like people that are going over there are coming back with. So they really. So they don't like the fact that everyone hates them in the world.
I thought they liked that. I thought they actually.
They're
just
like the new king apparent.
Yeah, MBS.
Yeah, that guy doesn't like that the world hates them.
Yeah, and
because he was just graduated in one of those like Ivy League colleges, and so he has all of those like Obama views.
Yeah, whatever it may be. Look, it's still a repressive society. There's no doubt about it, but it is moving in a direction that is definitely more open. So, like, one of the things that everyone talks about is like women can't drive in Saudi Arabia. I know the bar is low, but they can now.
Dang.
They used to have no entertainment.
Well, all societies make bad decisions, but we've all got our faults.
Give us the good news.
They used to have no entertainment whatsoever because showing movies was haram. And
Again,
now they have
again,
like
very-
men
Well,
there was
only.
no movie theaters.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's haram. And now they've got like
This
women
sounds like my
only,
dream
men only.
society. Really
Yes, it literally does.
They've
hot
made
all the time.
they've made like Saudi Arabia like a lot of movies are being shot over there because they're giving them really good incentives, and it's like these are some of it. They're creating this new city. It's called the Neon
Green City.
Yeah, the big line one,
yeah,
Neon.
but, yeah, the big line one. But they're also modeling it after Dubai, which means that the eventual plan of that city is that very much like Dubai, it has like you can buy alcohol over there. I don't know how much of it is going to end up happening, but you could even get like basically the same kind of paradigm as Dubai. This is so ridiculous for Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia, like I know it might seem like, oh, what's the big deal? But that country was in the clergy and the royal family just made this pact, and the deal of that was that we're going to be extremely Wahhabi conservative.
Yeah.
So the idea that these sort of things are happening in Saudi Arabia is revolutionary.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying how long, if it might even last for too long, but I think it's moving in the right direction. Saudi Arabia is changing for the better.
That, don't you?
That city does look completely though. It's dumb as it's about the whole city's about as wide as this apartment. And it goes for like kilometers down, and it's a giant mirror.
Yeah.
So like, if you're outside, it'll be like, oh, nice day, and then the sun will just go, ping, and just burn you to death. Like, like it's not exactly the best idea for a city. It's like a futuristic wonderland where I hope you don't want to play soccer because the field has to be like 10 by 5 meters.
The city. The city is a bit ridiculous.
It's insane. Have you seen pictures of it?
Yeah.
It's. I mean, good on them for thinking big, but it's like, it's dumb. It's just like, hope you don't like the sun. It's just a weird crackpot idea.
But on more practical matters, the West is downplaying it for reasons that I'll tell you. But Saudi Arabia and Iran are in talks of normalizing their relationship, which is huge, bro. They've been in a proxy war for decades that has destroyed entire countries. Any countries that had...
who do you wish win?
Not Iran.
I wish Iran won.
Really?
But, anyway, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Well, I'm happy about the fact that they're actually like...
I knew it.
This Cold War might end. The U.S. is downplaying it because it was brokered by China and it diminishes their influence in the region, so they don't sell it as like something that's great. But this is great news for the world. If these two countries, Saudi Arabia and Iran, can settle their differences, it's going to make lives peaceful for most of the Muslim world.
Wow. So there really is no need to switch over to electric vehicles all along. Tell me how much oil extraction we could.
But they're doing the same
Shit.
thing, bro. They're
What?
moving towards renewable energy
Yeah, but like the same
at
way
a rapid
BP
pace.
is.
All right.
I mean, it is what it is. They're doing
BP.
they're doing some of the that we're talking about doing.
I don't know, man. I think that that's all PR marketing.
Maybe we'll see eventually, but I tell you, they're spending a lot of money on it.
I'll tell you what is
They want to do
something
exactly
that
what they're doing right now,
Ali,
except with
Ali,
renewable energy.
Do you want to go to Saudi Arabia?
Like to visit or to live?
Well, both.
I mean, to visit, yes, not to live.
I don't know, man. I honestly think I'd be a lot happier there. I don't think I've ever been happier in my life than when I was in Turkmenistan. And it sounds like Saudi Arabia is even more oppressive.
There's this guy I know who went on a bike ride across Saudi Arabia. Like he was just traveling across Saudi Arabia. He was saying that unlike a few years ago, this time around, they were the most hospitable kind of people. Everywhere that you go, if they find out that you're a tourist, they want you to be there and they want you to have a good time because they want you to take this impression outside of Saudi Arabia that it's an open country. That was not the case 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I've heard horror stories of people at the airport where their passport is being chucked because they spoke to the officer in a slightly, I don't know, deeper voice than they were supposed to.
Jesus.
That's sick.
Anyway,
Come on,
but
man.
like-
There's like, I always think this. Can everyone stop going to Amsterdam, France, and Japan? There are other countries, and they're scary, and that's what makes a good holiday.
I kind of.
I mean,
It's interesting. It'd be definitely interesting.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
If
that.
anyone has been to Saudi Arabia, let us know in the comments. Was it the best time of your life? Because it really should just be renamed Jordan's Disneyland. The happiest place on earth.
Maybe we should go. A friend of mine was saying, do you want to go for
I'd love to
for
check that out.
Hajj,
Is that like the big Mecca
the
thing?
annual pilgrimage?
Dude, we won't
And
be allowed
initially I was
in.
like, no. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, actually,
Would they let us
that'd be
in?
a sick holiday. It'd be so interesting to check that shit out.
Would they let us in? Our whiteys?
nah, you're not allowed
So
in.
we can just stay outside Nome, the big city, and
Unless
burn
you
to death.
convert, or at least pretend convert, then you can go and
Yeah,
you
but
go out.
how easy is it to convert? I figured this out the other day. This is converting to being a Muslim. You just go into a mosque and they go, hello, brother, are you a Muslim? And then you're like, my shoes are off. What is that? And then you're a Muslim.
Yeah, it's
What
that
about my?
easy.
I don't want to take
It's
my.
that easy.
but
You don't
my-
have to do
that easy.
anything.
Do I have to take this off?
No, sorry. You have to say, I'm a Muslim.
I mean, yeah, you just have to say I'm a Muslim. You have to
Fuck.
read. You have to say like the dialogue which says, you have to say God is only one and Muhammad is his messenger, and that's it. You're a Muslim.
So you just have to do that thing where you just go, just point up, and then you're a Muslim.
Not that, because that means
Whoa.
God is great.
Okay,
Whoa. Sorry, I was just.
So what do you have to say?
You want me to do
Allah
it?
Yeah.
Akbar.
Show us that you're a Muslim. I haven't seen proof of it yet.
Allah
La
Akbar.
ilaha. Repeat out. Do you want to be Muslim? I'll
Yeah,
make you
yeah,
Muslim.
Convert right now. Convert right now.
Didn't we already convert on this podcast ages ago? Aren't we all Muslims?
I don't think I am.
I think we are. I think you were the one that did it. I don't think I'm
Really?
the only one that's still an Orthodox.
I've got this protective emblem right here.
That's
I
for
can't-
vampires, miss. You sold out. You betrayed both religions. I hope you're happy. You are the most unholy man.
No, praise, repent. I want to repent.
No, I'm not too comfortable making you Muslim because I know you're taking the Mickey out of it.
on Anzac Day of all days.
So we'll move on to our next segment, which is the really important one. Tucker Carlson
Fuck, I
Yes.
can't believe
and
it. What?
Don Lemon.
What?
I know.
Well, he's-
Normally, you'd think that the lemon would mean that that's the bitter one. And this time, this was the sweet chaser.
Can you imagine if they switched and Tucker went on he went on
Fox!
he went on Fox being like the elections were stolen, and let's be honest, while I was at CNN, I didn't want to admit this, but we've been trumping up the black numbers of for the like quotas, and then Tucker goes on and goes and it's just like Trump didn't want to say it. Is clearly a racist. Like just changes. It's like
He doesn't have to change. That's
Did you
why
know
he
that
got
Fox
fired.
News had to pay a $700 million payout for lying about the election.
to some scumbag called Tucker Carlson.
And Tucker Carlson did not report on Fox News. Really shows you should be listening to Tucker Carlson on CNN.
Later on, Tucker Carlson tonight for CNN. Yeah. No, this is crazy news.
That would be crazy.
Oh my god!
Okay,
if
I'd
I'd move
wouldn't
to,
the world love to see? Guys,
Just
come on,
do it.
Do it for one night, just as a gag.
one night,
One
I'll
night.
move to Saudi Arabia if that happens. I'll convert for that because I'll just be like, well, nothing's real anymore. It's all going tits up.
And it does happen. There was that chick from Fox News
Yeah.
who just went over to CNN and it just became one of those boring panelists.
That's
Just
true.
Megyn Kelly.
Megyn,
Republican.
yeah, no, Megan, yeah, Megyn Kelly.
No,
Sorry.
Megan Kelly went to
Oh.
NBC. It was some other chick. I can't
McCain's
remember her name.
daughter?
No.
Megyn Kelly, yeah.
Just all I can say, look, just type in MILF and Brazzers and she looks exactly the same as one of those.
Nah.
Okay, look, so firstly, for those of you who might not know, Tucker Carlson was fired. We don't officially know why.
Yeah, they
but
do.
Murdoch just lost a 1.2 Aussie billion dollar case.
That was why.
About
the ballots.
knowingly giving false information. And Tucker Carlson was communicating with people saying like, I know this is a lie, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he got fired. So it actually,
shit.
No, we don't know that's why he got
but
fired.
we know that.
Really?
Do we know that?
I know that. I mean, I don't
Well,
know
you know
that,
what the other theory is? It also makes sense.
What?
Lachlan Murdoch might be positioning to sell Fox News, and so they don't want the baggage that comes with Fox
Oh,
News.
shit.
That could be it.
I don't know if they might have to sell it if these cases keep going, but I don't know if they want to sell it.
Well, I don't know. This
who's
is just
buying?
Whatever it was in that case, it was strong enough for them to drop their Crikey case as well.
No, that wasn't. It was because it was strong enough. As they don't have a case anymore.
No, they do have a case. So the official reasoning for Lachlan Murdoch dropping the Crikey case is that I don't want to give them steam to keep publicizing this on the media relating to other cases against Fox News. So what was happening was that if Crikey case kept going, they settled the case in the US, right? For whatever the $700 million case. And all of that information doesn't have to come out now because they've settled. If the Crikey case keeps going, because the information would be related to them, because essentially the case against Lachlan Murdoch is the same, they could get information from the US case. They could legally summon for that information, which means whatever is in there, I think Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, it's like common news now. Like news is reporting it. They knew, they were communicating amongst themselves how this like election voting fraud was a crazy theory, but obviously they couldn't say it on news because all of their listeners wanted to hear something else. And if you've got that as evidence and you're making a case that you're knowingly peddled wrong information, so the only defense that Lachlan and Murdoch could have was that, okay, maybe they knew, but we didn't know. And then that could have been a case. But then you're on very footing over there. And if there's communication between the corporate Fox News and Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity, then I would settle too in that case. And if I'm settling in the U.S. and there's a similar case going on in Australia, and they know that the facts are related, then I'm going to have to drop that case too.
Yes.
I think that's why they dropped the Crikey case.
Yes.
They could have won without getting information from the U.S. case, is my argument, I think. So had the U.S. stuff not happened, Lachlan Murdoch could have actually won their Crikey case. But now that the U.S. stuff has happened, I think it's best for them to drop it.
Well, I suppose all the good damage was done anyway. It would have been nice if they kept dragging it out so they got more discovery on Crikey. But the fact that they got emails of Crikey admitting that they were deliberately trying to get sued as a marketing campaign for themselves.
Yes.
And then charging the Australian public for it.
But the problem with that argument is, even though it might be absolutely correct, if you are able to convince the court that the Crikey's arguments against Lachlan Murdoch are false, then that argument becomes strong. Then you can associate a deviant motive on Crikey. But if you aren't able to prove what Crikey is saying is wrong in the first place, then that argument has no value. Okay, maybe so, but are they wrong? So if you can prove that they're wrong, then that argument is better.
No, but it gets rid of their whole thing of this was public interest. That was the reason that we were keeping it up. It's like it's absolutely
which is why I'm saying that they might have actually won the Crikey case. But I think the reason why Lachlan dropped it was because he didn't want the U.S. case details to come out. They paid $1 billion, man, to settle.
Jesus Christ.
Like that's a crazy amount of money. So whatever was happening in that case, they weren't confident at all.
Yes.
And so whatever's in that case, I think that they just don't want out there.
Yeah.
Because it's much bigger than Crikey. I think at some point Rupert would have been like, Lachlan, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This is way bigger than the news outlet that you're fighting against.
Yes.
So, and Lachlan would have had to do it, obviously.
But you just made them a bunch of money as well.
Yeah, well, you made them a bunch of, but not $1 billion, you know.
No.
You mean
Lachlan Murdoch made Crikey a lot of money by suing them.
Yeah, they did. I mean, like Clive Palmer made you some money by suing you. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, except for the one difference is, as Crikey was accusing me of getting sued as a marketing campaign, the real difference is I'm a guy that didn't have a house or any asset. So I'm not getting sued as a marketing decision. I'm getting sued for the reason that they pretended they were getting sued, which is the truth, while they pretended that I was getting sued for a marketing decision and they weren't getting sued for it. It's so... I hate Crikey. I really do. And I love Tucker Carlson.
There's a saying...
And also Tucker Carlson's never lied. Fact.
There's a Middle Eastern saying...
Well, we now never know because it was settled. Maybe they did steal the election.
Exactly.
In relation to whether Lachlan is a better person or is Crikey better, there's a Middle Eastern saying, do you know hammam? Do you know what hammam is?
Takia?
No.
No, that's a different word.
Oh.
Hammam is like those bots, those like Turkish kind of bots.
No.
And the saying goes,
Kemem.
everyone is naked in the hammam.
Except me. I was fully clothed. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I refuse to convert to Islam, Ali, despite your Muslim tricks.
Nah, dude, Crikey's a piece of shit, no doubt.
That's a good saying. I like that saying though. It's very like epic and religious.
But we're not discussing the biggest injustice. Don Lemon got fired for being gay.
No.
I can prove this.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
I didn't even know he was gay.
Yeah.
He is gay.
How
First
can
of
you
all.
not know? Far out.
I didn't know.
What of that man doesn't scream Queen?
Dude, I just thought he was CNN-y. They're all like that. They're all just
that's true.
corporate and very proper and well.
Jake Tapper isn't.
You know,
Jake Tapper doesn't wear turtlenecks and when he's drunk sit there just being like, they hate me because I'm black. They hate me because I'm doing my thing, but I'm going to keep doing my thing, honey.
Like,
Direct quote.
So Don
Jesus.
Lemon got fired because in one of his shows,
What happened?
he was discussing Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is a Republican presidential candidate.
Right.
And she's in her like mid-50s or something. So Don Lemon was like, we've got to admit she's way past her prime. And like the girls, like the ladies on his show were like, that's a bit rude. And he's
I've
like,
seen that.
come on, admit it. She's like, after 40s, you're kind of losing your prime a little bit. And he got fired for that, apparently.
Shit.
My argument is, that's just a very gay thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's
it is.
sass.
It
Yeah.
is sass.
And then
yeah.
also like,
And then you know what else as well? Ali was telling me this off the pod. He also got fired because he was harassing women. And every time you hear about that, you're always just thinking, they're just being like, hey, sweet cheeks, how are you? No, he was sitting there just being like,
you're old.
I got to say, you're looking ugly today.
Don Lemon, what a king. You're not
Now, that is not a heterosexual thing to do.
No,
Like,
it is not.
The heterosexual guy is not saying that.
No.
Never.
They're grabbing the ass. They're not going, you're not looking so good today, honey. Too sassy for CNN. Well, they have their limits, I guess. The MILFs win. The
and
MILFs
now
versus the gays
Don
win.
Lemon is screwed. Tucker Carlson can go anywhere, even if he just starts making YouTube videos.
Won't they both do that?
He's gonna make $50 million
Yeah, but do
easy.
you think who's tuning into Don Lemon live?
Yeah,
That's
no one is
true. He's not
watching
exactly
Don
the most charismatic man I've seen on TV. I'll give you that.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, miss. Your Twitch stream will be more successful than Don Lemon's.
Some people are saying that
Dan
he
Ball's
got,
like, I just like him. I think Don Lemon's got
Sorry,
some good
miss.
takes.
George, some folks are saying
Passes at me.
he got fired for that argument with the Indian American politician,
Who?
Don Lemon.
What was that about?
No, guys, let's be honest about this with both of these instances, right?
Let me
Neither
recount.
Don Lemon nor what?
Let me tell what the Indian American
Go on,
incident
go on.
is. So this is a few months ago. I don't know how long, but it's been a while. This Indian American, and when I say Indian American, I mean like not Native American, but Indian.
Yeah.
Indian American politician was on his thing, and he was talking about like how black people after the Civil War and through the Civil Rights Movement gained all of these rights. And Don Lemon was like, no, they didn't do that. They didn't do any of that.
You haven't
And
walked
he was
a
like-
mile in my skin.
Yeah, and he was like, you can't tell a black man how black experience is.
Right.
And the guy was like, I mean, I feel like every citizen should be able to. He's like, whatever your ethnicity is, I don't think it's appropriate. And he's like, well, whatever. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud to be an Indian American. But I feel like, irrespective of the color of our skins, we should be able to have this conversation.
Yeah.
So that was the incident. And Jordan, you were saying that's not grounds to fire. Like that didn't contribute to shit.
No, every time anyone ever gets fired for these SJW reasons, it's not because of that. It is because they've been looking for an excuse to can Don Lemon because he is ratings kryptonite. They just want to get rid of him because everyone hates him.
Right.
And they've been looking for an excuse that it's got contract time's up and so time's up. And it was the same with Tucker Carlson, obviously. It's like the reason that he is getting fired is because he cost Fox News more money than he was bringing in.
That was it because of the
But you know what's crazy? I don't know about Don Lemon's contract, but I read that Tucker Carlson's contract expires in 2025.
So what's he do? He just goes off air and...
Shit, who
Tucker's?
They give him a big-ass payout.
Holy
Yeah.
You can't just fire someone that you
boy.
signed a contract with.
Is this Tucker?
Yeah, Tucker.
Oh, man.
I don't know about
Man,
Don Lemon.
Think of all the Snickers bars he...
A lot. Oh, he's not buying Teslas. I'll tell you that much. he's buying Hummers. He's buying...
stockpiling Hummers.
Dude, he'll...
when they
Yeah.
eventually take his freedom away from him.
Exactly. He'll have a Hummer that stretches from LA to New York. Like, I can walk all the way.
The Indian American, someone has commented,
won't.
name is Vivek Ramaswamy, in case you want to check out the interview.
Dude, Tucker will be fine there. He'll just start a YouTube channel and be like, the truth, news, truthity, truth, America Today. And he'll just kill it.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you guys think that he's going to go to YouTube because Bill O'Reilly and Chris Cuomo tried to, I'm starting my own news network.
Yeah, it
with
didn't work.
blackjack and hookers.
It didn't work
Yeah,
out.
it didn't work.
Yeah.
I love it, though. I love those two stars of yesteryear. They have this segment together on whatever Cuomo's news channel.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so good. It's the best. It's hilarious.
Dude, Tucker has.
They're really
Tucker doesn't even need to do what Bill O'Reilly and were doing because Tucker is. He is the biggest host in the world at the moment. I think his ratings are insane.
Really?
Which means that
What are his ratings?
I don't know, but they're high. They're really high.
He's hitting like 3-4 million a night.
The biggest host on Fox News, and Fox News is one of the biggest channels in the world. So you can imagine his ratings are amazing.
Time for Gutfeld.
Which means I think
Oh, no.
there's gonna be a lot of
promotions.
there's gonna be a lot of media channels, kind of like those Luminosity ones and Palmer's, that are gonna want to give him a lot of money to come on their
sure.
platform.
Those ones are. That's what I'm saying. Like he'll go on there, he will bump up their ratings, but not by as much as they think he will.
It doesn't matter.
They'll still have to pay him a lot of money.
Spotify did that with Joe Rogan, right? And people were saying that's a stupid move because I don't think they think it was a bad move. I think a lot of people started listening to podcasts on Spotify because of Joe Rogan.
That's true.
I think a lot of people will start watching whatever the that he goes to because of Tucker Carlson.
The problem is though,
Tucker Carlson ain't no Don Lemon.
yeah, but he's still property of Fox News. Joe Rogan is an internet entity that rose up from the internet. So the internet is going to follow him to places. But if Tucker Carlson goes to the internet, he has an internet presence, but he is mostly a broadcasting presence. He's not.
He
gonna have
might
the
go
same
on like
impact as
satellite
Joe
radio
Rogan.
or something.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really sad place where all of the stars of yesteryear go to hibernate, and that's the same thing that happened to Conan, and they get huge amounts of money, but there's also like
No one's
3,000
watching.
people listening to
I don't.
it.
Yeah,
As
no one's
one of
watching
your
Conan.
unnamed editors said, I think he's right. He's going to do a Howard Stern. He's just going to go
Probably
satellite.
the best financial move for him, but in terms of presence, I would imagine the best thing to do is, this is pathetic because Megyn Kelly tried to do it, but then again, that's Megyn Kelly and this is Tucker Carlson. Maybe start a YouTube channel and maybe hit the podcast tour. Start doing the racket. Start going on your Rogan. Start going on your, whoever that really ugly, punchable Rogan is, that whatever his name is. But like all those, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to do it. But then here's the other thing: would they accept him? Because
Some
the
of
other
them
problem is
would.
once you're on Fox News, like there's really nowhere else for you to go except for lesser Fox News channels.
I think Joe Rogan is way more likely to have Tucker Carlson on than Don Lemon, for instance. He hates
Well,
Don
that's
Lemon.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He hates seeing it because they
CNN
fucked him
and
over.
Don Lemon so much. He
'Cause
has a
they've-
beef with Don
but
Lemon.
they fucked him over with that whole COVID thing. bro.
Ivermectin and
Yeah,
horse
yeah.
medicine.
He's got
He hates him with his guts. But he will. He might get Tucker Carlson on.
He might.
A lot of podcasts would get Tucker Carlson on.
You know what would be amazing if Tucker Carlson did his lifelong dream. Apparently, his lifelong dream show was pretty much what we have right now. That's what he always wanted to do. He just wanted literally a black curtain, like we have, but maybe one that actually stretches around the entire studio. Maybe he has the money for that. Unlike us.
He's got the money for sure.
He doesn't have to fill in with that Chinese curtain
and he doesn't
divider.
There's a clear
gap.
wall in the. It's so annoying. I
think-
stare at it because the computer's right in front of me.
I'll focus it on you. Don't worry.
Let's just do this for the rest of go back to the wall. Go back. I mean, it's just amateur hours.
Hey, how come you don't fix it yourself then, huh?
We'll have to.
I don't know how. I do not have the. I'm not a stageman.
Dude, we'll hang a black T-shirt.
Oh, that'll make it
that'll
real
cover
professional.
Some of that gap in the wall.
An extra large, triple
Yeah,
X.
all right. We'll go to Paddy's Markets. We'll get a corn shirt and we'll put it.
Yeah.
That's a nice. All right. What a compromise. There we go.
There we go.
Extra large corn shirt.
shirt.
Right at you.
Hell yeah, I'll go on for
Because
myself.
what it lacks in having other colours there, the darkness that it will bring to the studio spirit
Hell yeah.
or the company. But anyway, he wanted that, and then he just wanted to have a conservative, much like he had on with Crossfire, but without guests. He just wanted to have a conservative and a liberal discussing the issues day to day, and he thinks that there's a market for that. So maybe it's him and Don. Him and Don on a black
Jesus
curtain.
Christ, can you
Oh my
imagine?
God.
Would you go and tune into that frequently?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But just like maybe
Or just
once or
see-
twice.
No, I'd do it. I'd watch that shit all the time.
And particularly if he's just slam
sure.
dunk and Don Lemon, that'd be amazing to watch.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so good.
Dude, Don Lemon is going to be on food stamps soon, I'm telling you.
I don't think. Well,
Unfortunately, he's probably
rich as
made a
fuck.
bit more than that from his 14 years.
Yeah, I think he's.
17 years, as he made it very clear. For 17 years, I worked for CNN, and I did not even get a courtesy call from the management telling me I'm fired.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
How'd he get
But
fired?
you know what's hilarious? The reality is, then management came out and said, we offered to have this discussion in our office behind closed doors, and instead Don Lemon went on Twitter, threw a tantrum, and was just like, nobody even gave me the decency.
Fuck. Hell.
He's such a piece of...
That sucks.
He is the worst, most hateable man on television.
Oh, God.
Hands down. Let's just do this as an exercise right now. Who do you hate more?
I
It's
don't.
hard, hey?
But he's
Yeah.
not wrong when he says...
Guys, in the chat, let us know. Is there someone that's worse on American TV?
I don't love that little. Who's the little bald guy who's like little chubby Mario looking guy? That's like, I'm also on CNN, I think. That guy. Is he on CNN?
Yeah.
That guy
The one
sucks.
that Alex Jones. Really, I hope to God that guy doesn't have the money for a defo suit because Alex Jones has accused him of being a pedophile.
That's right. Like lots of times. Oh, yeah. I hate that guy more. The pedo. That guy sucks.
pedo.
He
But
sucks.
he's not on CNN either.
Oh, isn't he? What's he
He's
on?
gone.
Oh, he's gone?
I think he's just on a bunch of those like media ethics discussion channels. With a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of pieces in the media talking about how they can be better.
Fuck.
I think he's that. I think that's his life now. Just look, if they ever make a remake of whatever that movie is with the inconceivable, at least it can be
Princess
that.
Bride.
Yeah, Princess Bride. It's got that. It's got that hope.
He does have that going for it. But yeah, you know, poll
It's really
whoever's
hard to think
worse.
about some of the. There was this other guy once that was on like Blaze TV or something like that. Who, no offense, Ali, but he did look pretty much exactly like you with the backwards hat.
Blaze.
But like, you know,
Oh,
the thing that really pushed it over the edge was he had this, the gap tooth, which is very hard to look at the best of times.
Yeah.
And so he's lifting when he can't.
I call it
Oh,
It's just-
I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
Yeah. Isn't he on like PragerU now or something?
some
Or-
like, oh man,
Yeah.
that guy,
I know who you're talking
as
about.
my editor once said, it was just like, I've never met someone that has seen someone that instantly registers in my mind as a cunt quicker than that man.
It's so true. That's a good call, actually.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
That's a
too.
very good call.
Yeah, that guy's worse than Don Lemon.
Yeah, that guy's worse. That guy sucks. That guy really sucks.
But coming back to the point, Don Lemon is right about the fact that CNN fired him because he was gay.
I know. And, you know, like, honestly,
Jesus.
if they were doing the whole, if they want to divert from the, it's because I'm black and gay, it's one of those two things. That's one of those. They want to go for that. You know who they need to get on there? Mr. Van Jones.
Damn, Van.
Who's
I
that?
love Van Jones.
Who's
What's
that?
his? Oh man, he would be. I like Van Jones too.
Yeah.
I think, but he does
He's
already.
hilarious.
Doesn't he already work for CNN though?
Yeah, I know, but he should have a nightly slot. That guy is so charismatic.
A black guy I
so
can agree
funny.
with.
Yeah.
Van.
The thing is, he basically has the same cuck views as Don Lemon. He's just not an annoying cunt.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. That's
He's
true.
funny
You
and
can
like-
actually listen to him, and you're like, yeah, okay, I don't agree with
Wait,
you.
is he
but-
the
It was
guy-
like the
is
same
he the
thing
guy
that
with the
had this reason. You know how
glasses?
people are always
he's got
accusing us of like, oh, you're too, you guys love problematic figures and all this stuff. I was just thinking, no, I don't. It's just all the problematic figures are hilarious. They're funny,
Yeah.
and so they're entertaining.
Mm.
And now that the you know, the quote unquote left, whatever the that means, now that they've got Lidia Thorpe, I'm fully behind that girl. I think she's amazing.
Dude, controversial figures just have way more masala in their takes.
Yeah, exactly.
Masala.
And I want masala news.
Yeah.
That's what I want, man.
Like even Chomsky's like he's not getting people out of their seats, you know? You're falling asleep to that guy, you know?
Yeah.
Love him.
I don't know. I
Just
think
speak up.
Chomsky has a lot of
remotely
masala.
smart. They would put Lidia Thorpe on for an hour.
Yeah.
Just rattle
Oh,
off her
dude,
brain.
speaking of Lidia Thorpe, you know she's going like Defcon on Albo's ass?
What?
For what?
She's saying like, because Albo...
So get mental health.
Albo, you know, after like the whole strip club incident, they were asking Albo, what do you think about Lidia Thorpe?
Get mental health.
Do you think
Did
she
say
does?
get
Yeah,
mental
he
health?
was like, look, I think Lidia needs to take a hard, long look at herself. Maybe she needs to get some help. There might be some health factors contributing to this. I'm not too sure, but this is clearly not behavior that is appropriate for a senator. And Lidia was like, you racist pig. You're calling me mentally unstable. You're calling me this. You're calling me that. It's because I'm
Wow, what
a
a
woman.
surprise!
And I'm
Lydia
black.
Thorpe called Albo a racist.
That's
Isn't that's very left of field for her? to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
Straight to the R bomb, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, like life begins at the R-bomb for her.
Exactly, isn't it?
She's
got nothing
perpetually-
else. That's her only. Well, I love that about her. But didn't she also? Was this the case where she was saying this is a tired stereotype that men put on women that we're batshit insane?
Yeah.
The thing is, I know batshit insane women who say the exact same thing. They always just go to this is a tired old stereotype.
Yeah, they used to
But
call it
here's the thing,
hysteria.
Here's the thing. Women can also be insane.
Yeah, dude, if you're... hey, here's the thing. If you're going up to random patrons and screaming, you stole my land, it's a fair call.
Dude,
And then her argument afterwards is, I thought they said something racist.
Yeah.
So she's hearing voices in her head.
dude, I have a theory about her. I think she's because of her whiteness. I think her white side is the annoying one. It's her white side. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Dude,
just
to
like
be fair, like this whole like
you know what I'm
insane...
saying?
Yeah.
There's a reason why Karens are white. Like this thing of,
Exactly.
like,
It's just a Karen thing. It's like
I want to meddle in other people's business.
Yeah.
Is a real white lady thing to do.
yeah, like and
Yeah, yeah.
Anglos are usually they get so butthurt and kind of like I don't know. It seems to be like I don't want to name names, but like definitely a particular contingency of like white hosts that used to be on Triple J, for example. You can use your imagination. Like that's sort of it's always Anglos being like this is just like you know what I mean. You don't see
Yes.
any like. I mean, I'm generalizing massively, but anyway, I don't know. That's my theory.
All right, look, we've got one more segment before we wrap it up, or we could wrap it up.
You want to hear about my Twitch? It's not interesting.
Oh,
All right, yeah, let's
go
do
into
that.
It's
the
not
Let's do
interesting.
that.
All
Let's
right,
do
here
that.
I'll give you the
misadventure.
I'll give you the 411. It's not some the thing that is it's not the thing that's not very interesting is like okay, big hoo ha. I streamed a few times and I think I clocked in at 10 people once. And I was like, yeah. And I've probably done it like 3 times, and I think each time I've started at 1 a.m. So it's not the best strike rate, and There's a lot of people just paying me out in it and being
What do they say?
just
Go on.
made a mockery here. Okay, so the payouts range from along the lines of your camera quality sucks.
Yeah.
Why are you playing Counter-Strike?
You're pretty used to it on the Friendlyjordies podcast. I don't know.
Yeah. Why are you playing Counter-Strike? You suck at Counter-Strike, which I'm not. I'm good at it. But anyway, they say I suck.
Who are you playing against? You just playing against
People
the
online.
computer?
No, people online.
Randoms online.
Yeah. And that's annoying too because they're all talking and just like, suck my. I'm like, keep it down. I'm streaming, you know? But
Mute them up. It's like,
I can't talk to them.
Dude, it's already
Yeah, but
mute.
you-
There's
you
two
can mute
people.
them, right?
It's like-
I don't know how to do that.
it looks
so
bad.
there's just voices in your head
Yes.
No, he can't mute him.
at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
And everyone's insulting you in the chat.
Yeah, they're all
Dude,
insulting
it's
me.
it looks a bit bad when you've got two people watching and you mute him. Like,
No. They're not paying me out. So I'm playing.
No, you don't mute the people. You mute
Yeah.
the people that you're playing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
they're paying you
Yeah.
out.
No. They're not paying me out. They're just being like, oi, you, that's streaming. Oi, shoot him in the head. I'm just like, shut up. Shut the up.
Are they Aussies?
Yeah. It's like Aussie servers. And they're just been like, yeah, eat a pussy. I'm like, shut up. Shut the up. I'm a serious streamer. But basically, so like they're paying me out. And then it's like, 80% like a one-on-one with Bandmole being like, do you, what was she asking me? Like,
80%.
do you, something like, do you know how to restring a violin still? I'm like, it's 1 a.m. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. But yeah. And
Maybe not play a game that was big in 2005.
well, that's another thing too. You know what another person said? He said, your streams remind me of the early streaming days of YouTube.
You're a
Which I
walking
wear as a
museum.
badge of honor. I told him, I was like, I'm proud of that. I don't know if you were trying to pay me out, but I'm proud of that. And then they're suggesting, games, like play this game, play that game. I'm like, look, I don't know how to do that. Like, I'll figure it out. And then they'll like review memes, which I know you said I should do, and I will do. Like, and I was like, again, I don't know how to do it. We'll figure it out. And like, yeah, that's basically it. A lot of,
Welcome to my life.
a lot of vaping and like, I mean, I feel gross doing it. I'm just there just talking. It's a weird feeling playing Counter-Strike, being like, yes, I do like that band. The second album wasn't as great as the first, obviously. It's a weird feeling. But the thing that was like,
You don't like my camera quality. There's a lot of other streamers you can watch it.
yeah, if you don't like it, there's 3 other people here that are very happy to continue watching. Like 10 was the, but you know what's crazy? I do, so when so I had 80 subscribers, and then because we shouted it out in the pod, I have nearly 300 subs. But I don't know where they are.
Well, they're not online.
Well,
Rob.
people are saying
Yeah,
that
but why?
you're not telling us that
Maybe
you're going
because
to
it's
stream.
1 a.m. in the morning and you're on the same camera that Osama bin Laden was denouncing the West. So,
Okay, that is true. They're always saying, why don't you don't tell us when I'm going to stream. But how am I going to announce that? Do I do an announce it now? Do I just pick a time now or something?
that would be a start.
Okay. Wednesday night. How's that?
That's
It's not
really
good.
vague. And that's okay. So
I thought you
1
were
a.m.
gonna say
again.
9.
No, let's not do 1 a.m. Let's do like Wednesday night.
12:30.
No. Let's go crazy. Let's do like 7 p.m. Wednesday.
Crazy.
All right? 7 p.m. Wednesday. We're going to do Counter-Strike and you can all say our shit. No, they're
Funny
pretty
thing is,
nice,
this is
but-
going to go out after Wednesday.
All right, from now on, 7 p.m. Wednesday, I'll do that. But the thing is that the revelation I had was like, I'm playing it because I have to have another computer to read the comments. So I'm like playing it. And the revelation I had was it was like recommended channels. The only people I follow is this, us, Limmy, and some other person who I don't know how to unfollow. It's really annoying, but whatever. And then there was all these chicks and I was like, it was like recommended channels. So I clicked at one of the recommended channels. Dude, there's chicks with millions of subscribers, millions,
Yeah.
that tease going into a bath. That's what they do. They go, I'm going to go in the bath and with a towel. And I was,
Oh my God, he is from early 2000s YouTube.
it was And I was just like, and then it was just, everyone was like, drop the towel, drop the towel. And then even I was just like, just drop it. And she wouldn't drop the towel. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm shining out. And then like kept playing. And I'm just like, yeah, and checking again for the towel. And she's still been like, phew, these ones. And I'm just like, this. And one of the comments in her stream said it perfectly. It said, it's really sad that this is the world today. Millions of people going, drop the towel. Like the comments like, drop the towel, please drop. I'll leave you, don't drop it, anything. And then I couldn't hear her, but you could tell she was just being like Diesel Dumb 101. I'm glad you like the rubber duckies. I'll drop the towel soon. I'm just like, ah! And so chicks just sit in baths being like, yes, cheeky Barbie 69. I also like cheeseburgers. When I just don't like it when they put too much cheese. What are they doing?
They're just horny, dude. Most guys.
Yeah, I know, but there's porn.
Horny.
I guess it's live, but it's like.
Have you looked at the views on porn websites?
They're high, right?
Super high, like hundreds of millions.
I get OnlyFans. Like
porn is a 5-minute job. What do you do with the rest of your life? You pretend you have a girlfriend.
That's the scary insidious thing that made me think. I'm like, why are they watching this? I'm like, this is their relationship. Mm-hmm. They're watching this girl tease them. She wasn't even going to be naked. She was being like, you might see my bikini. Like, that's their lives. Dude, if the internet's a
You know
place.
what's crazy? I'm still curious, did she drop it or not?
No, I signed out before she dropped it. I was just like,
how long was it?
Oh,
that
dude.
You gave her?
Well, I was streaming. I was just checking in, being like, while I was streaming. I gave her a good, 20 minutes, maybe more.
Okay, so an episode of Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
Every night.
Yes, just going,
I'm going to drop it. The thing is, she can't drop it. She's on Twitch.
No, she can. It's a bikini. You can.
She is crafty.
Yeah. And she's very rich, I assume. Anyway, it was a very weird experience. And
well, the key question, was she hot?
Hell yeah.
I mean, you have to be.
I mean, she was like
for
a
millions
10.
of people to be waiting for you.
She was a 10. Let's be honest. I mean, I wasn't there for I wasn't there for her amazing, communication skills. I couldn't even hear her talk. I had to listen to he's dropped the C4, drop the C4. I had to hear that, but well,
at least he's kind of navigating himself around Twitch, which is that you are doing multiple things at once. You're talking to chat.
Yes.
You're playing computer games.
Yes.
And you're watching some chick on a... Yeah, you're perving.
I'm perving, talking to Bandmole and playing. I'm not bad at Counter-Strike, though, honestly. I'm not too bad. But, I do feel gross. I'm just I don't know about this. I think that I need to get into reviewing memes. I think I just need to lie in the bed and be like, yeah.
Dude, why don't you just become that guy and start dropping? I'll drop it.
Drop the channel.
And people.
I'll tell you why, because I won't have millions of views. But there you go. What is very acceptable, male nipple.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just still Bandmole.
Drop it!
Love you, Bandmole. You're the best wherever you are. You're the best. You're probably watching, but and it wasn't just Bandmole. Some other gentleman, but actually one of the streams I had a really long conversation about AI with a dude, and that was pretty good. And it was 2 a.m. and I'm like, you just think it's going to be really... I know.
Can
I know.
Men between 20 and 30 get over AI?
I was just I just think it's
satisfied with VR.
I'm just
is that enough for you?
I just was just it's just going to be terrible for the artist. That's what I worry about. That's just going to, they'll get hit first. That's the thing that worries me. That kind of. But then I was like,
they'll get hit, not truck drivers. No.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. But let's just call it Wednesday, 7 p.m. because it'd be nice to have more than 4 people. And I don't want to do it every day. Is that
Wednesday
fair?
4. You just changed the time.
7. Wednesday 7. Sorry.
Not gonna do it. I'm guaranteed.
No, I will.
I will bet you anything. He's not going to be there.
Anything.
I'll be there.
Tune in just to see a blank wall and just a face of Miss Love just trying to turn on his camera, which will be his screensaver. That'll be there, just being like, Miss Love Bella Bradchick was last tuned in at 1 a.m. last
Anyways, thanks for joining us
Wednesday.
tonight. Check out Miss Love's stream if you ever get to catch it.
I'm proud I started it.
And drop the towel.
Yeah.
Drop
Drop
the
that towel.
Oh, man.